Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. Today I've got another book talk video for you guys, and we're going to be talking about Miss You by Kate Eberlin. Now, even when I bought this book, I knew that it wasn't typically what I'd pick up to read, but it had a pretty color, and with the warmer weather coming, there's just something that always makes a nice fluffy light read sound really enticing, and I kind of thought this was going to be one of those. On the back, it even has a little blurb where it says, if David Nichols' novel One Day and Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise films were to meet, have a brief thrilling affair, and end up producing an unexpected love child, it would be this. So I was kind of all for that because I'm absolutely in love with Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise films. If you haven't seen them, you definitely should. There's 3, they're all amazing. So I thought we would give it a go. You'll have to excuse me, I finally caught the cold that my husband had. I've been trying to film this video for about 4 hours now. I was like, okay, we gotta film. So I'd set up a bit, and then I'd go sit down. Then I'd set something else up, and then go sit down. My eyes are just watering. So forgive me. But anyway, this book is about Gus and Tess. When they're 18 years old, they're both on holiday in Italy. Separately, of course. Gus is there with his parents, and Tess is there with her friend, and they have a brief encounter. Like, she asks him to take a photo of her and her friend, and then they recommend him a great place to get gelato, and that's pretty much it. Then the book takes place over 16 years, and we get Gus and Tess's stories. We follow them through their lives. And they don't really meet again. It's not a... I kind of thought it was going to be, over and over again they keep meeting, and then it just doesn't work out, or the timing's not right, or whatever. But that's not what happens. They are in the same place at the same time a few times throughout the book. Like, say, he'll be standing in line at a store, and she'll be in front of him, and he won't know it, and she won't know it, but we'll know it. Or, they're on the same plane together. Again, they don't know it, but we know it. Until finally, at the end of the book, they meet up again in Italy. They're both on a sort of a creative retreat in Italy, and they meet up there. I didn't love this book. It was easy to read, and I kept wondering what was going to happen. But it just wasn't, it's not the type of book I'd normally go for. And even knowing that, I was still kind of ready to like it. But I don't know why it was compared to Richard Linklater's films. It's nothing like them. Maybe a bit like the One Day that it's compared to, David Nichols' One Day. But again, yeah, that's a pretty weak comparison. The main problem that I had with this film is that I found Gus and Tess to be really unrelatable and in some ways really unlikable. And they both end up doing some, as we're watching their lives unfold over these 16 years separately, we see them doing some really just unpleasant things, making some really bad choices, doing some really shady stuff. And it's the kind of thing where those things can happen in books, but you care about the characters, and so you feel differently about it because you just do, because you care about the character, and I just didn't feel that in this. It wasn't badly written, I wouldn't say at all. It's just I didn't care too much about the characters, unfortunately. But in the end, the last 30 or so pages when they finally do meet up and they're getting to know each other and spending time together, it's just so cringy and corny and I don't know, just not my cup of tea. If you love romance stories, just kind of those cheesy, full-blown romances, you might love this. But it just wasn't for me. And again, the characters just weren't. I just didn't care about them. And when they do things that were really ugly. It made me care less about them. It didn't make them complicated. It made them less, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there you have it. I wanted to keep this brief today because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to sit up. But before I go, I did want to do some quick shout outs to some lovely YouTubers that I enjoy watching and maybe you'd enjoy watching as well. The first is Pretty Princess Lisa. She is a very sweet lady. She's a fellow Canadian. She does beauty hauls and tutorials and all kinds of great videos. She's just such a sweet woman, very supportive, a lovely friend, and I would highly recommend you go and check out her channel. And if you do, let her know I sent you. Second, I always got them written down. Second is Jenny Nunley. Again, she's just a very thoughtful supporter. Her comments are always very, very thoughtful, and you can tell that she really watched the content and put thought into what she was going to say. And as a content creator, we know how touching that is. So thank you, Jenny, for always being just so wonderful. So I'm going to link her channel down below too. She does makeup hauls, she does Ipsy baggings and things like that. Just a lovely woman. And finally, Stunner Frenzy. This lady does some really interesting origami on her channel, and I just love it. She's so creative, and she makes such a beautiful things out of paper. I find it so just amazing and inspiring to see her doing it. So those are this week's shout outs. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, if you go and check them out, let them know that I told you to go. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today, you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.